Great reception. That play had it all.
Mr. Boff, how you doing? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see everybody here. Where's it? There it is. Oh. How's your day going so far? Hopefully you're having a great day. Why not? Doing good. I am doing wonderful. Not bad for a Monday. Or a Tuesday, in your case.
Tonight, from M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions.
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Set to go now on a wet and rainy night. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium.
Question is, will I prevail?
Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a
But
snap.
good to see everybody here. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you for tuning in. Playing a little bit of football tonight.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
Now Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
So the ball
Yo, Tottenham, good to see you. How you doing?
Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Play action. It's Jackson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do. But when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
They're actually calling for rain here tonight, so hopefully I can get this game in. They're calling for some storms.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and
I
on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try.
Streaming earlier.
Tucker's kick is good.
Oh, come on.
And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Weather like this, always treacherous for kickers. A good sign early, though, as he's able to put that one through.
And you remember him right before the kick stomping around his area to make sure that things were going to hold for his plant foot, and it did.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
Blaming on the rain.
He takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within 1 quarter of winning it. But since that time, He's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 26. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down
cool.
play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. They'll try the air now with Goff. That one let go deep for Laporta. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
It would have worked. It would have worked.
Speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Going up the gut. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Okay, so go ahead and do that.
On 1st and 10.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know how it goes.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's going to be down close to a 1st down at the Ravens 41. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And
oh, come on, dude.
It's picked up by the Ravens. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burrow?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard
Kettle cooked chips, I highly recommend them.
13 yards on the keeper and a 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. In motion, the tight end. Jackson running again. Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. Jackson on the give to Dallas.
Hello, Megan. How you doing?
In his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment.
Hello, Nightbot.
He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Third down and 13. To throw is Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. So they pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
But don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the fourth down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot, if that's what they want to do.
I'm trying to win, Megan. I'm Detroit tonight.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. Tucker's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Back onto the field come the Lions for their second overall drive. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. Off play action. Here's Goff. And there's Williams. What a catch. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Holding.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Gotta do better there, kid.
So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
Gotta do better.
More and more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
His throw incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw. Goff.
Got knocked out. Come on.
Incomplete. They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. He's airing it out for Williams.
Well, that was fun.
Intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And the Ravens force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, Jackson will keep it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he'll only get this to the 14 as he'll come up well short of the 1st down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Gets past one man. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. Touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown. 41 yards. And the Lions strike quickly here to tie up the ball game.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
They're going to try and run. And he is into the end zone to give him a 2-point lead. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. And it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do.
And that, my friends, is how you do it.
Mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it. Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Hill shedding the tackle. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
All right.
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 33, here's 2nd and a yard. Jackson, option right. They'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
Now Jackson on first down. Dancing to his left.
Oh, missed it.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Play action. Now Jackson.
There we go. Nice.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought
Do it
down.
again. Do it again.
Alex Anzalone charges in there hard and drops him for a loss of 12 from
Come
that
on, D.
outside linebacker position. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Back to throw. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
Yeah, YouTube did have a funny update.
Here's Jordan Stout now.
I don't know what's going on.
This is taken at the 23. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Detroit's offense ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways. Because you know
I wanted to say that. I do know that YouTube did change something up because I usually watch 95% of YouTube on my TV, and the screencasting option has been changed around.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this, up to the 41-yard line.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
It's important to do, especially early in the game like
40
that.
seconds to go.
Justin Matabike there to bring him down. From the 46, here's second down and 8. They'll go again with Gibbs. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Eight-6 the score after 1. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a third down coming up. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now a play fake, and it's gone.
There we go. Nice.
That is caught.
First down.
A big play there for Detroit. 43 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success.
Nobody home.
Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery.
Come on, dude, get in there.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
So waiting on the rain. Let's go.
Third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. Running for it, Montgomery. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Michael Badgley on for the extra point. He's got it, and the lead moves to 15-6. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Returning it, Justice Hill. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. In motion left, Bateman. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now Montgomery. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever.
I want to thank you all for being here tonight and hope you are doing great. If you haven't already, hit that like button, share the stream out. And if you're new and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Really appreciate you guys for being here.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to have you all here.
There, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Play action. It's gone. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That's good for 28 yards.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 10 more there and another 1st down.
All the way home.
They're going to run this with a tight end.
Come on.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time.
You have one job. One job. And
Montgomery is
thank you.
For a Lions touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Badgley on for the extra point. And that will make this a 16-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Ravens offense back out there. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Jackson.
David Wolfie, hello, hello. How you doing? Is it raining yet? You're sending me all that rain tonight.
Out now is the punter, Jordan Stout. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Hello to you.
See David Montgomery heading
hello
back
to
out
Wolfie.
to begin the drive. Good returns on the last drive. He hit the end zone for the 2nd time. Good returns in this first half, really.
Yeah, good returns for his team. Really good returns for the guy. You know where I'm going. Darn right. Those fantasy guys who have him on their team, they're rejoicing right now, and they have a high expectation that what they've seen already will continue.
You talk about fantasy line, but you don't. Why don't you just play? You know,
I'm not good enough to play in a fantasy game. I enjoy watching.
You're an analyst. You're an expert.
I mean, you were a champ last year. Keep it up.
5th place.
Okay. Well, it's a champ in my book. Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that.
Don't think it's raining.
There. Catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Ravens will take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Dobbins running out of the gun. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2 yards to go, second down. Up the middle, it's Hill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The offense on third down tonight, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jackson. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. The fullback dive held up short, and the Lions will take over. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. Now 2nd and 9. Another run for Gibbs here. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the booths right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Now a 2nd and 2. The give right side for Gibbs. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Haven't met a defensive coordinator yet. The thing 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on first down. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the feet.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they can't bring him down. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Come on, let's go.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for him because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held them, they might go for it again. Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the first down.
And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Hill. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Where they were on the field, kind of no man's land. Do you like the call?
I love the call. Almost had to go for it there, right? Because of what you just described. Too far for the field goal. Too short for the punt. You might punt in the end zone and just give them good field position anyway. Let's go for it. Plus, they were moving the ball. They had confidence that they could pick up this last bit of real estate.
Tackle by Emmanuel Mosley.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They work now on 2nd and 9. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4.
Alrighty, chat. We have to behave now. Leslie's in the chat. Hello there. Hugs to you. Good to see you.
Picked up by a Fitu Melifonwu.
All the way home. Let's go. Joseph Grow. Woo.
Back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Now that's how the cookie crumbles, chat. Boom. Boom.
Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now.
How is everybody doing?
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception,
You're lurking.
but then returning it to the
Well,
end
thank you for
zone
stopping in
the
and
pick
lurking.
six.
I do appreciate you. Hugs to you, and thank you for the drink. I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Having a good day. It's only
So
Monday.
pick six, they'll get another shot at it now as this one's
Or
in
a
the
Tuesday,
air.
depending on where you are in the world.
And
I wish it was Friday already.
Right there at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field.
Hugs to you all.
Dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right
Joseph
back out on
is
the field
living
with
the
a chance to
dream.
return.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Flowers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He finds Bateman over the middle. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
Nice.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And quickly they get to the line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Jackson now. Completes it to Aguilar. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he works his way
4th and
past
2.
the line of
Come
scrimmage
on.
and then slides to a halt. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got.
It's not going to make it.
This will be spotted just shy.
They're not going to make it.
A 59-yard attempt.
Nope.
And this is off target to the left.
That's a rip.
Anyway,
That's a rip.
And this will remain a 23-point deficit.
And this is a commentary in today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
Halftime.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. In that first half, it was David Montgomery who proved to be tough to stop. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10. Right at the 30. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
All right.
1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 60 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
first down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Here's Goff. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground. Zone coverage there, and they were playing.
Can we try to catch the ball this time, folks?
A little bit harder to run by guys.
Show a little bit more oomph.
Time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Okay, all right.
Goff is sacked. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first
I'm gonna blame Joseph for that one. It's all Joseph's fault. Woo!
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Ravens will get it. First and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 13. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And he edges forward but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's second down. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Second down and 8. Jackson, options out left. Fighting through, and he's got space. 14 yards that time, and a first down on the keeper.
And that's another big-time run. And it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 34.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Jackson and the Ravens still on the field. They'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense set to take over. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now gone. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. This is 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Jackson. Oh, leaping, and he makes the grab. And he's got this down to the 35. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles. And that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
They go play action with Jackson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against a front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. They go play action now. Jackson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That sack courtesy of Jack Campbell.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Jackson on 1st down. Steps away to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
2nd and 9. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. From the gun, Jackson down inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this.
All right, come on, defense. Come on.
Dobbins. Touchdown, Baltimore.
All right, well, that's right. I messed up at that. I messed that up, so I can't afford it anymore. I want to win this game. No more costly mistakes. Right, chat? Hope you guys are doing well. Good seeing you all. Thank you for staying here and watching. Appreciate you for being here. Hope you're enjoying the game.
Justin Tucker for the extra point.
But I'm doing good. Just chilling tonight.
And this one's back to an 8-point game. That time a 9-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And Detroit getting set to go now. Still enjoying the lead here in the 3rd quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And now they're in the hurry-up. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Go.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop it for no gain. So certainly an interesting.
I get that first down.
And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
All right. Whatever.
They'll start out here with the option left. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
They bring pressure there on 3rd down, but this is a nice job of picking it up and making sure their guy has time to deliver the football. And they wind up getting the first down.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Jackson, options out left. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Hill. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
Edwards. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So they've had 2 cracks at it from the 3. They haven't moved the ball an inch.
And I don't think you can continue to go ahead and run up against that brick wall. They've got to go to something different here. More than likely, the ball goes in the air on this snap.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson hooking up with Mark Andrews. And the Ravens have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
All right.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They're going to try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 60 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Gotta get that first down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first
Come on.
down. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery.
Seriously.
He stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
They're making the same mistake as last time. Just get the first down.
You maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm
There.
like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
A 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Goff now looks to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
So a big return there, Charles, on what was a pretty dangerous throw to the outside.
It sure was, Brandon. That's the risk you run on a throw like this. If it's intercepted, a lot of times this is a pick 6. So good hustle to get back and get him down. But, boy, that's a throw you've really got to be sure of if you're going to work the perimeter of the field.
The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the 4th quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The rain compounding issues here for a possible field goal try. They'd love to obviously get closer, even pick up the first down if they can. It's 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, One thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. They set up the screen to Hill. And down inside the 15 he goes. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw is Jackson. Down inside the 10. And finally down at the 9-yard line. That'll give them 8 that time. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Jackson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Everybody left.
That pass just a little bit off.
Yep.
It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Tucker's kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Detroit's offense ready to take over. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again with Gibbs. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll let this go deep for St. Brown. And unable to connect.
Catch the ball. Catch the ball.
They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Oh, come on, dude. You gotta do better than that.
Complete, they cannot convert, and they turn it over. down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that?
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I'll guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
They'll start with the option. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Second and 8 coming from the 19. Dobbins running out of the gun. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Third and 3. Looking to throw. Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Ravens are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Back to throw. Jackson throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Operating from the gun. Jackson got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Nelson Aguilar. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens will add to their fourth quarter lead. And that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that can win the game for us.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Here's Khalif Raymond to return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
It's a big one now. It's a big one.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. Yeah, the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Balled at the 26, 2nd and 7. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. 81 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. A yard all they need, but it's third down. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. The job one to pick up the first down is complete. That was a big third down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped, and what they do is they...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 24. Jonah Jackson, former third-round pick, the guilty party. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Here's Goff. It's to St. Brown, and he makes a great catch. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now third down,
at least I'm in field goal range.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, a quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, here's Hill. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So here's Goff and the Lions. Down by 7.
Well, once again, I tried.
They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10.
I could have won it, but I blew it again. Oh well.
He's going to let it fly. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
I don't want to do the Hail Mary.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
At this point.
Now it's gone. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up. Now gone. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. Just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.
Alright folks, I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. I really hope you enjoyed the stream. Sorry I disappointed you. It was a fun game. I could have done better, but towards the end I couldn't get in the end zone, and unfortunately it was a tough one, but it's alright. We will prevail. So you guys have a good night. Thank you all for being here. Much love to you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, drink your soap, and so much more. We'll do it again tomorrow, and I'll see you all again tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern time. But for now, you guys have a good night. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Wash your hands, drink your soap. Be kind to one another, love one another. If you watch this on the replay, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this out. Appreciate you guys for being here. Take care.